So I never bench press. Why? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. Anatomically, physiologically, biomechanically, why the bench press is not a good chest exercise.
Alright, here we fucking go. Let's see why the bench press, the most famous chest exercise in the world, apparently is complete dog shit.
If you look at the basic anatomy of your chest muscles, the bench press doesn't make any sense because the primary function of your pecs is humeral adduction. Bring your arm from outside to in. But when you are doing a bench press, you're not getting any humeral adduction at all. It just doesn't optimally contract and load the chest muscles.
Fuck me, this guy's stupid as shit. Hey buddy, first of all, the bench press is a compound movement, meaning it's not just a chest exercise. Secondly, your chest is connected to your upper arms, so when your upper arms are moving, so is your chest, buddy. This guy sounds like he's making sense because he's using scientific words, but fuck me, he's got no clue what he's talking about. Alright everyone, welcome back. Today I found the most delusional gym influencer ever. This guy right here is called Jay Vincent, who is probably the most well-known D1 capper I've ever seen in the fitness industry. This guy has a YouTube channel and TikTok page where he pretty much just spews complete bullshit and nonsense advice onto the timeline to further complicate an already f***ed up fitness culture online by telling you not to do this and that you should be doing this and blah 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 blah, when the advice he's giving out truly just makes no goddamn sense. Today I've lined up the worst possible videos I could from this guy, so let's see what we're dealing with here.
Where did this bodybuilding mindset come from that we need 3 sets in that fashion?
It comes from Reg Park. So Reg Park was one of the first more well-known bodybuilders from the 50s. And Reg Park, since he had some fame, wanted to make some money, so he started writing books. He wrote a book called The Secret Multiple Set Training System.
Bro, this whole conspiracy bullshit is only making the fitness industry bullshit worse. I swear the only reason we have so much confusion on what exercises you should be doing and what training systems work, and there's so much debate around it all, is just because of the internet. The internet took something that should really be quite simple, you know, building muscle and getting stronger, and caused so many unnecessary debates that didn't need to happen. My personal approach to all of this is that if you do one set truly to failure and you feel that that's enough, and you've completely rocked your muscles to a point that you can't move them anymore, then leave it at that, bro. You don't need to do any more. But if you feel that 3 to 5 minutes later you've got 1 more set in you, or you've got 2 more sets in you, and you aren't gonna get injured, then bro, do that by all means. There's no one style training that fits all, bro. There's no blueprint that's gonna perfectly fit your goals and results that you desire from your training that someone can give you. You've got to experiment with different things, bro. You've got to try out different things and see what works. Then once you've got a training program that works for you, bro, stick at it and you'll see massive improvements. It's really not that complicated.
Guys, you do not need to be messing around with all these ridiculous exercises to train your hamstrings. Okay.
Yeah, you might not need to do these different exercises to train, but they sure do help. Like, yes, this guy hasn't had a chance to speak yet, and I am cutting him off early, but seriously, I don't understand what the point in bagging different variations of hamstring exercises is. The 2 exercises that have been shown on screen do work the hamstring muscle, and in fact, the assisted Nordics are very effective. I just don't get the point coming on here and bagging different exercises for no reason.
You got a gym, very likely. You've got a Planet Fitness within a throwing distance of where you live, likely. Do a hamstring curl. They make machines that efficiently, safely, and effectively load the hamstrings without having to do such a ridiculous setup to train one muscle group. You know, this guy's tying bands, he's putting 315 pounds on a bar to hold them in place, and then he's setting up pads, doing all this bullshit to train your hamstrings?
Okay, I get what this guy's saying, right? You can just train hamstring curls normally and you get more muscle growth and it is easier. But it's almost like assisted Nordics aren't meant for fucking bodybuilders. This guy's pretty much the complete opposite of Mario Rios. Mario Rios, who is the dumbest gym influencer who I've made plenty of videos on, is under the impression that the only way to train is for athletic performance. And this guy here, Jay Vincent, is the complete opposite, who is under the impression that the only way to train is to be a bodybuilder. Like, for fuck's sake, bro, can we just accept on online that some people have different goals to others? Like bro, C-Bum isn't gonna be doing sprint training and plyometrics. Why? Because he's a bodybuilder. That isn't specific to his sport. And LeBron James isn't gonna constantly be doing slow and controlled machine exercises. Why? Because he plays basketball and he doesn't need as much muscle. The sooner we accept this concept in the fitness industry and stop demonizing certain styles of training that clearly work for other people, the sooner all this confusion about what you should be doing goes away.
Now this one is really stupid. My opinion about burpees has become somewhat controversial, but it's only controversial if you're a moron. Burpees are not exercise. Not everything you do with your body that is sort of challenging is exercise.
Mate, I think by definition, you're just fucking wrong. We'll get into this guy's stupid ass point about burpees not being an exercise soon, but firstly bro, activity requiring physical effort carried out to sustain or improve health and fitness absolutely falls under burpees. But let's see why this guy thinks otherwise.
An exercise must be a specific activity with the intent of stimulating an improvement in the 5 general trainable factors of functional ability. This includes muscle strength, muscle size, bone and connective tissue strength, cardiovascular and metabolic efficiency.
Yeah, I think burpees train all 5. Now, are there more effective exercises than burpees out there? Sure there are. But if you want to specifically train a certain physical trait, there are specific exercises to do that. But overall, bro, if you want something quick that trains all 5, burpees will do that. Again, I have to emphasize here that it doesn't do it as effectively as others, but the point is, bro, that burpees are still an exercise. I personally don't do burpees as there are more efficient ways to build muscle and strength for my specific goals, but in some cases they are going to be useful.
So here's Maria Sakkari doing some bridges with marches and core training, and then moving into some single leg squats for single leg strength and stability here, and getting into some sprint training with different postures.
Okay, so this dumb motherfucker doesn't actually say anything here. He just pulls random facial expressions similar to ones that I'd pull after sitting on the toilet after not shitting for 100 hours straight. But the general idea I get from this video is that this guy thinks that this training video is stupid, which is fucking stupid for this guy to think. Let's break this down right. So the first thing that should be noted is that this girl in the video obviously isn't training to be a bodybuilder. She's an athlete. My guess is some type of athletic event like sprinting or hurdling, which believe it or not, I actually have a lot of experience in. I used to do hurdling on a national level, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. The first thing she's doing here is single leg marches with a band, which I'm assuming is like a warm-up as well as helping to improve explosiveness in the upper portion of her running motion. The single leg squats, which are being performed on this like bendy platform, is obviously helping her stability with load, and the posture sprints that she's doing is to help her understand her running form a bit better. Now, I'm not an exercise scientist, right? I'm just someone that used to do all of these exercises on a regular basis as a kid, but after hearing all of that, right, it doesn't take a genius to realize that this isn't meant for bodybuilders. Again, you're not gonna see fucking C-Bum doing this shit. He doesn't need to. But for athletes, bro, this is all effective.
How do you balance training explosively and high intensity training at the same time? Explosive training is a myth. It is not supported by any evidence at all when it's compared to traditional strength training.
God, this guy's a fucking idiot. So he says that explosive training isn't even comparable to strength training. In what fucking realm? If he's talking about muscle size and strength, then yeah, mate, no shit, strength training is gonna be better. But if you're talking about athletic performance and sport-specific skills, then explosive training is absolutely going to beat strength training. This is gonna become repetitive for this video, but again, bro, it just needs to be said that this all depends on your goals. For some people, explosive training is completely useless, and for others, it's absolutely necessary. Just figure out what works for you. That's the main thing to take away from this.
Any literature that compared explosive type training to traditional controlled repetitions with strength training showed no additional benefit, but a higher instance of injury risk. The only reason some athletes do explosive training is because of just pure folklore. Now, the strange thing is that this is quite obviously dangerous, and the individuals that are promoting this explosive style training should have a huge body of evidence that it's superior to traditional strength training in order to even justify doing something so dangerous and potentially ending an athlete's career.
Mate, it's not that fucking dangerous. Like, can we just relax for a second? If you properly warm up and take all the precautionary steps involved in doing explosive training, you'll be absolutely fine. You're in a controlled environment doing exercises that you've hopefully selected with intent. You've got more chance of being injured doing the actual sport that you're training for in an unpredictable environment like football or soccer than the actual training part, which is predictable. sustainable. This argument about getting injured doing this type of training is absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, I'm done with this guy, Jay Vincent. Click the video on screen right now because YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you all over there. Subscribe.